Sydney Sweeney just unveiled a campaign that she did with American Eagle promoting their denim, and the internet is ablaze with reactions. And they're basically saying this is a sign of the official defeat of wokeness, specifically in advertising campaigns. They definitely included a heavy focus on her jeans.
Yes, let's watch this video here, guys. Here we go. Let's go full screen.
This monologue that they wrote for her is just so ridiculous.
I'm sorry. Before we watch this, my favorite thing about her is that she doesn't enunciate well. For an actress, her tone is kind of soft. She doesn't hit the syllables a lot of the time. It seems like a lot of the words run together. I love that it just doesn't matter.
Lana Del Rey does the same thing, actually.
Let's watch this video. Here we go.
I'm not here to tell you to buy American Eagle jeans. And I definitely won't say that they're the most comfortable jeans I've ever worn. Or that they make your butt look amazing. Why would I need to do that? But if you said that you want to buy the jeans, I'm not going to stop you. But just so we're clear, this is not me telling you to buy American Eagle jeans.
Sydney Sweeney has very keen.
You see what I did there, right?
Okay.
Okay.
I like that chair, honestly.
And then the second ad that we're going to show you is even crazier.
Yes, we can go to this screen here. Here we go.
My body's composition is determined by my genes. Hey, eyes up here.
Sydney Sweeney has very keen.
Okay, so here's the thing. Before we get into the rest of it here, you asked why she is different than you said, like, I made some joke because there was a...
Okay, so there's this viral post going around that says, like, all of right-wing discourse is just a picture of a woman with her huge honkers, and they say, this is what they took from us, or whatever.
We're going to talk about that tomorrow, too.
We'll talk about that at another time. But I just said, like, you know, I don't really get that, because I feel like there are just titties everywhere. There are tits no matter where you look. Every pair of tits that I see is one that I'm seeing against my will. It's obviously in pornography, but it's also in mainstream TV shows. It's also in movies. It's on OnlyFans. It's on TikTok. It's on Instagram. It's on X. It's everywhere you look is tits and ass all over the place. And I'm just like, is there a shortage of this that I wasn't aware of? So why is it that, you know, Sydney Sweeney showing her cleavage is so titillating in an age where tits are literally everywhere?
Okay, so my hypothesis is more the fact that in current year, there is sex-positive feminism, like, say, a Katy Perry, which is now frowned upon and looked at negatively by society. But what you see here, after she gets done saying the line, "My eyes are up here," she grins. It's not saying it in a derogatory way to anyone, and it's been a long time since they've seen that approach to sexuality between men and women.
Well, and also it's a joke because she just said, "My body, something, something."
Correct.
And then so the camera looks at her body, and then she says, "Don't look at the thing I just mentioned."
There is a lot of discourse that would be, "Hey, my eyes are up here," and it would be actual rabid feminists saying, and that is,
okay,
what you're doing is wrong. You should ignore your biological imperative, yet I should be able to put them out in public.
Okay,
but
yes.
You're bad for looking at them. She is
Right.
taking that same concept and going back to what it would have been in the 2010s, or I guess earlier even than the 2010s, which is that they do it, they know they're doing it, and they're giving you the wink and the nod because they're not taking it as seriously as a feminist who wants to both do it and tell you you're wrong for looking.
Okay, I understand what you're saying, and I actually agree with you. I don't think that the focus is actually Sydney Sweeney's tits. I actually don't think that that's, like, the focal point of the marketing.
No, it's not. But the joke was that she used the line, "My
I know,
eyes are up
but
here."
I'm literally saying, like, her tits are not the marketing campaign. It's the tone that they're doing it. And her having this, you know, affable personality, not having this, like, shaming demeanor. But I just don't understand, like, what's so great about women inviting men to look at their tits with a smile. Like, I just don't really understand why that's something to celebrate. I don't think women should invite men to stare at their tits,
Oh, I think you're seeing
regardless of whether they're doing so with a smile.
you're seeing a return to people from the late 90s and early 2000s who have now been lumped into like the America First MAGA coalition, who are not conservative at all, who took this viewpoint in the 90s and 2000s, and their views on these things never changed. What changed was society suddenly went very, very different the other direction from, I guess, 2016 to, I guess, now
Yeah, you had like far left progressives believing that they were libertine, but actually being extremely puritanical.
Yeah.
And so the libertine is sort of taking back over a little bit.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Like what you're seeing is just
It
a
is
return
interesting,
to...
though, that like in the jeans ad, Sydney Sweeney's actually wearing the jeans. Because we used to have these ads that were for jeans, and there were like, no, you couldn't see the jeans in the ad. All you could see was like the butt or the boobs or whatever. And I remember being in a subway station with my son, and he was little, and he goes, Mom, is that... there was a jeans ad, right? And it was two people kissing, and then some blurry background.
Okay.
And like you couldn't see jeans. And I said to my son, I was like, what do you think that's an ad for? And he goes, kissing? And I was like, no, it's for jeans. And he goes, what? Where's the jeans? Where's the jeans? It was like...
There's still an ad that sits in my brain. Do you ever have like those commercials or something maybe you saw when you were younger that just they burrow deep into your brain?
Some of them you think of every day, and you're like, make it stop.
There was like a Levi's ad in the late 90s or early 2000s for the fifth pocket in your jeans.
Okay.
Where it was like a woman who's having an affair with like a pool boy who gives him a key to the house and he sticks it in the fifth pocket and he gets searched by security. I guess it kind of connects to jeans. So they're saying like, if you want to have an affair with like your boss, you better buy our jeans. But I still think about that ad sometimes to this day.
Yeah.
I guess what I said to you off air, Brett, still applies. I just realized today that I'm a 90s conservative minus the war part.
Oh, like Newt Gingrich, like the Christian Coalition?
Yeah, like I'm that person. So I just don't relate to the majority of these self-proclaimed conservatives who are actually libs. And that's why they think it's like something to celebrate when, like, you know, we're getting tits in ads.
And my point to you earlier was that people like me who would never call themselves conservative are not conservative, have been lumped in with conservatives, and I'm called that despite the fact that I don't have...
Maybe just because you're contrarian?
Yes, I guess I'll take it. I don't think of myself as a contrarian. I have my own views.
See, look at that. Look at how contrary that was.
Me and Mary disagree on plenty of things, but we agree on some stuff too. But I would never be lumped into the label of conservative, mainly because now it just seems like that's a way for you to get just dragged down a peg as everyone does their purity spiral and purity tests. Everyone's like, well, actually, you said this one time, therefore you're not this. I think the labels in general are unhelpful. But you do fit more into the mold of, you know, if it was the 90s, you'd be telling your kids no Harry Potter.
I just think there's a false dichotomy between woke and whatever we just watched. I think it's perfectly possible to incorporate beauty and celebrate beauty and femininity in advertising in a way that actually does compel people to buy products and actually works without this lowbrow, like, kind of pornographic tone.
We had the other clip too.
Like, would you disagree with that? I want to know what you guys think.
You would call this tone a little porny?
Yes.
Interesting.
Well, especially because Sydney Sweeney has literally basically done porn. Like,
really? I don't know anything about her.
Not on, you know, a porn website, but I mean, if you watch Euphoria, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I never watched that.
She's literally just naked on TV. And I'm just saying, like, we see tits like literally nonstop. I would actually find it refreshing to not see tits.
I remember when it was like when NYPD Blue was this big show, and it was like this sort of like a cop show, but also a little bit of a soap opera. And there was an episode when you saw a man's butt, and it was like this whole big, it was celebrated, if you will.
And like I said, when I watch Batman vs. Superman, I'm like, why am I looking at Bruce Wayne's ass?
Yeah,
I don't want to look at Bruce Wayne's
you
ass.
never want to.
Okay, so
but I think that the whole notion of celebrating all of these things, like I'm tired of celebrating stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, go exist.
I didn't see that ad
and
as
I don't
anything.
need to applaud literally anything that you're doing at any point.
I just mean we can see ads that feature aspirational beauty standards without leaning into a direction that is just coarsening the culture and sexualizing everything unnecessarily.
I guess I didn't see it that way, but again, like we have different views on this stuff. There's a third ad though, anyway.
Yes,
So we got this one.
There's
as
one
well.
like featuring her working on a car, which I believe at some point or another we caught wind Sydney Sweeney is into like working on cars.
That was
I guess.
apparently part of the lore before she got famous.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Mm-hmm. The jeans look
Sydney
bad.
Sweeney.
I'm gonna
They're
say it.
super baggy. I wanted to mention that. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
a problem.
That's my hottest take. Is like I'm just like, why are all the women's jeans baggy?
I will say that I really like the design of this stuff. That's a great car.
At least she drove the car.
The car is great. The chair was great in the other one.
Oh, yeah, like
I like the
aesthetically,
minimalist aesthetics. But yeah, I'm not crazy about the jeans. I don't like the
Yeah.
boyfriend jeans because I think the other word for that is frumpy.
yeah.
Like have
Yeah.
something that looks nice. The first pair of jeans she was wearing, like I guess these are the jeans you wear to work on your car, right? Because you're not supposed to have other pants.
Mm-hmm.
But the first pair of jeans also they looked very like they were sort of like low cut, tight at the top, flare at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so are we bringing that back? Do we have to?
America will never be thin enough again for low cut to come back.
I agree with that. Like now it's just you're hanging out over the top.
Yeah,
of
it's just
these.
like if this whole thing is about Sydney Sweeney's hot bod, like we're not seeing it because she's wearing baggy jeans.
It's not about her.
she
hot
had the
bod.
tank top though.
Yeah, I
you know?
guess that makes up for
It's about what her demeanor represents, which is a return to an inviting form of sex positive feminism that doesn't shame men for looking.
But I
didn't
hate
see a lot
sex
of
positive
feminism. in this.
feminism.
I didn't see a lot of.
Why would we
feminism in this.
celebrate sex positive feminism?
Sex positive is just it's
Like-
basically like sluttiness, right?
That's
It's
why
just
I don't
slutty.
understand like the appeal to conservatives. One of the responses said, not to be a total degenerate, but obviously America is back.
There was,
What?
and they did compare the two ads between 2019 and
Yes.
2025 to let you know just how much things have changed.
That was 2019 with this overweight model with purple hair.
I
And
remember
then
that.
And
2025.
look, you can go into any store right now, go into a Target, go into a Walmart. There's a lot of merch. It's like USA, US. I'm like, really? Like, is this regional because of where I live? Because 2 years ago, this wouldn't have been out there, even for 4th of July.
2 years ago, Target was selling satanic designs for kids.
All that stuff tells
On
me is
fanny
that
packs and
capitalism
stuff.
is what it's always going to be, which is like they're going to listen to the market. And as people said, we don't want satanic designs for kids. And the culture says, you know, whether you want to say the judgment for that is because of the election of Donald Trump again, whatever, that a certain amount of love for your country is back. The capitalist business is going to be like, okay, let's get in on that. Let's make merch that, you know, like the tie-dye, this and that, the rainbow stuff is out. We're going to go put this stuff in the stores. And it's on the shelves at the Targets and the Walmarts, the big business stores.
This has proven incredibly successful for American Eagle, whose stock is up over 25% in hours. And then they also estimated that the ad campaign created $416 million in value for American Eagle in after-hours trading.
She's going to have to put that on her resume.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Crazy. And then also following her ad campaign with Dr. Squatch, they were purchased by Unilever 1 month later
Yep. I did
for
let...
$1.5
So
billion.
she-
dollars.
So I guess she can command a very high payday for doing ads.
Yeah. I love this tweet. It says, so a bunch of the guys on FinTwit got super bulled up on American Eagle after Sydney Sweeney became their new spokesperson. Now the stock is ripping after hours. Haha. That's actually pretty undervalued. And it's just the guy who's over-explaining to somebody. Poor Liv Morgan became a meme after that.
Like grabbing the back of her
Yeah,
neck.
you don't understand, man. We're bullish on Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah, I just I'm a conservative fuddy-duddy, and I don't think that women should invite men to stare at their tits. I think that that's trashy.
Sex sells.
It
has
is a
been
little trashy.
I don't think women
Sure.
should do that. It's
But I
just-
mean, is American Eagle a classy brand?
I wouldn't say they were, highbrow, but it was always just, middle of the road
It's like
cost,
mid-mall brand.
casual,
It's a mall
mall
brand.
clothes. I mean, I also saw Hollister has launched a 2000s collection recently,
I
which
saw that
is
this morning.
basically just a bunch of redesigns of their most famous pieces from the 2000s that like millennials wore in high school, and Zoomers are absolutely obsessed with it. I'm probably going to buy some of that stuff. And I was feeling a little cheated because you just know that they're just reselling versions of their old stuff in way lower quality that's all made of plastic and bullshit that's going to fall apart in a year or after like a wash. So we're
I
not
hate when
really
that
getting
happens. That happens with like H&M clothes. Literally
Yeah.
falls apart after
we're not
a
getting
wash.
the OG stuff back.
I mean, H&M.
Well, we're not getting quality back is the issue.
The H&M skinny jeans used to actually be really, really well made back in the
Well,
day.
that's one of the things Hollister has brought back into their 2000s collection is actually like form-fitting low-rise bootcut jeans. Not skinny jeans yet. Maybe that will take a while to cycle
I hope
back.
we don't end up back with the skinny jeans. The problem with the skinny jeans is like I can see the silhouette. It sort of works with some things. You have to have the right shoes and whatever, but like skinny jeans are so uncomfy to wear.
I have a pair that actually fits me now, and I just can't convince myself to actually
Mary
wear
just
them.
doesn't
The
wear
issue I have
jeans.
is like when you try and bend your knees, there's like not enough give in the fabric to bend your knees, and if there is enough give, then when you're walking around, you have like baggy knees on
Yeah.
your skinny jeans. It just
Yeah.
never looks good.
I just don't wear pants.
Yeah.
I only wear like maybe shorts sometimes, mostly skirts and dresses. But I do think they should have given Sydney Sweeney more flattering jeans.
Yeah, they were. I mean, they just didn't look.
That was a fail.
I'm always like, when I see women in the super baggy jeans, I'm like, why?
Let's just
The
not.
other thing too is it's like when you see a pair of jeans on Sydney Sweeney and they look bad on her, you're like, well, they're gonna look really bad on
Right,
me.
exactly.
Like I
right.
can't. I don't have the butt or the boobs to pull that off.
Exactly.
Clearly, so I'm not wearing your jumpsuit. Plus a jumpsuit. Like, come on, let's be done with the coveralls.
I've been saying.
As we talked about
Hate
yesterday.
it.
I talked about Anne Hathaway getting put in these coveralls in the new Devil Wears Prada. It's
Oh
it's
no,
awful.
that's not
looks
Anna
like a
Wintour
janitor.
at all. Of course she does. Of course she looks like a janitor. So does Dave Chappelle. That's why he wears it.
Such an L.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.